All right, now just yesterday, Atari dropped a press release announcing Adventure of Samsara, and it claims to be a successor to Warren Robinett's 1980s masterpiece, Adventure, which if you've watched this channel at all before, you know I'm a huge fan. Now, I have my concerns, but also we have a demo. Let's talk about it. This video supported in part by...
Playing VR, I tend to sweat. It gives me an edge. So King of Nerds happens to give me an edge too. Let King of Nerds give you the edge. Bye, King of Nerds.
Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Thank you for taking the time to click on this video. And yeah, when I first read the email from Atari, I was initially, I was stoked. Finally, a true follow-up to Adventure? How are they gonna pull this off? What great idea do they have? The email, the press release thing even says, experience a mysterious 2D Metroidvania that captures the spirit of the original Atari 2600 title, Adventure, and takes it in an entirely new and unique direction. And all that sounds great. They also provide a trailer, and I'll put a link to that down in this video description. I immediately went and watched the trailer, but I was straining to find the Adventure connection in what I saw. I mean, there was a big dragon that kind of looks like a modernized version of an adventure dragon, that duck-looking thing, but only if you squint and you're looking for it, you know what to expect. So what is this? Well, I did a little digging, and I spoke with some friends and discovered this game that we're about to see released as allegedly a follow-up to Adventure is a 9-year-old Kickstarter game that failed to be funded, by the way. It used to be called Tales of Samsara. Now, I went to the Kickstarter page and I went digging through there. I even did like searches. There's no reference to Atari. There's no reference to Adventure other than saying this is an adventure, right? And now, okay, it's totally fair. You could say that the people that wrote this game back into 2016, that they saw it as, they were inspired by Adventure. It's their interpretation of Adventure. All that's fine. But you could claim that from any game, likely today, got inspiration from the 1980 cartridge. They certainly didn't talk about it on that Kickstarter. In fact, they just say stuff about how it's based on the planets and you represent Pluto and there's Mars and Jupiter and it's kind of, every level is based on a planet or something. Like there's no evil wizard and chalice and kingdom. It's all this celestial stuff. It's so, I'm worried. I have lots of thoughts and concerns, but to be fair, there's a demo available that I just downloaded, haven't even pushed play yet. So rather than just unload my speculation on you without more information, let's go try the demo to see what more we can learn, and then I'll come back here and we'll talk about it. Okay, I've got a game fired up. It's got this atmospheric soundtrack in the background, all fine. Is any of the credits worth seeing? Gonna speed these up. Adventure of Samsara. Yep. So these are the guys that I saw, yep, on the Kickstarter page, many of them. I might have changed them over time, but okay, you got some basic options, controls, audio, all that stuff. Great. Okay, please surprise me and be so adventure inspired that I can't help but see it. But in what I saw in the trailer, worried. Start my journey. The sun's an eyeball. Leaning into the planetary celestial stuff that I heard from before. Okay, so I can climb, jump. And I'm not concerned about the game being a good game. I mean, I have faith that it's going to be a good game. What do I need to do here? Oh, here. Data crystal cube acquired or whatever. Okay. My fire or bone shall be renewed to their integrity. I mean, right now I'm looking around, right? And it's not like, okay, it's got to slap me in the face, but if you hadn't heard this was supposed to be connected to Adventure, would you know? I wouldn't know. Oh, Umbro, a sight to behold, a formidable hero destined for grand deeds. Would you kind of liberate me from these confines? He wants to be liberated? My chamber behind me holds what I seek. All right, so I got to go back over here to find a way to let him out. And I'm just, like, you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a dragon, for a maze, for a castle, for a bat, you know? I feel like I'm coming into this game dogging on it and angry about it. And I'm not. I'm just super concerned. Can I have that? There we go. I have a Triforce on my arm? That's the wrong platform. Use X to slash with my sword. Cool. Cool. So I have a sword. All right, that's something. There we go. Right? There's gems to pick up. I mean, the game is enjoyable. You wouldn't need to put adventure on this for me to play it. But when you put adventure on it, there's certain expectations, you know? Come on. Oh, over here. Okay. All right, over here. This chain. There we go. So now he's free, I guess. Besieged by necromancers. New objective unlocked. I'm coming into this game without... It's starting at a negative because it's not paying off on what I'm... Look, what would you imagine? What would you hope for in an adventure, follow-up, a sequel, a successor? Is it this? Come on, you got to hit on that adventure note pretty soon. There's a gelatinous cube in there. I mean, the adventure aspect is here, but not the adventure aspect. You know what I'm saying? So here's a gelatinous cube to fight. Press right trigger to dash. Okay. There, I've dashed. Does that mean he can't be hurt? I don't know. You're seeing what I'm seeing. Are you finding a follow-up to adventure here? Let's go in here. This a castle? But look, here's your first opportunity. Look, I'm gonna go in this place. Why not make it a castle? If you're gonna slap adventure on it, like I feel like it's a loaded language to say slap adventure on it. But it's how I'm feeling right now. If you're gonna slap adventure on this game that's been around since before the current management of Atari ever appeared and could ever want to do something with it, put a little effort. This could have been a castle. Why not make this the Black Castle to walk into? Why not something to make me go, oh, I get the adventure aspect. I'm trying to find something to like in it. And not the game. Again, not the game. Oh, this is the beginning. We're back to the beginning. How did we get here? Like, I want to make it through more of this demo because I'm thinking there's more to see. Look like a anvil or something? Interact with the golden anvil. Yep, to save your progress. Okay, that's how you... Sure. Interact with it. So that's a save. Rest. Ooh! Alright, shove your sword in it. Cute. So I'm going to keep playing this. Keep recording it. And I'll edit. If something exciting and very, very adventure-y happens, I'll let you know. It hasn't happened yet. I locked myself in this cage to be safe from the Reaper. By playing the prisoner, I avoided the undead creepers. You'll need the crypt key. Okay, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but the game itself would be interesting to me. It's when you say it's part of a franchise that's so important. There's a bit more on the line. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me. Maybe adventure is not that big of a deal to everybody else. That's not my impression, but I mean, I know that's not the case, right, honestly. Let's go fight a zombie. You know, gelatinous cubes and zombies and crypts and everything you're expecting from adventure. Guess I'm gathering some money. Required key not found. Well, I don't have that key. I'd like that key. Now, I gotta think as a Metroidvania, that floating green crystal-y thing out there is some jump ability you're gonna gather at some point, right? Yeah, I would think. I would think you might want to give it to me in a demo so I can see the adventure stuff in this adventure. I can fall as far as I want. That's almost good news. I can smash boxes. I didn't know that. You know, like an adventure. Augmented diagnosis system acquired. Your gauntlet can hold upgrades to power you. Okay. Metroidvania, of course. Okay. All right. I could keep playing this. But I think, look, I've already seen, it's the demo. They said it's adventure. It's the part they want us to get excited about this game as a follow-up to Adventure 4. In all of this gameplay, I have yet to see anything that says, you know that feeling of adventure? Here it is again. Okay, I'm not prejudging this game. I'm pre-opinioning this game. The game might be fine, but there are so many implications when you stamp adventure on this game. I love a good Metroidvania. I love a simple pixelated art style adventure game. My criticism here has nothing to do with the game itself necessarily, but in how I fear Atari may have made a misstep in slapping adventure. Yeah, I'm gonna use the word slapping now, slapping adventure on it. For several reasons. So the first is the experience I just had, playing through a game that someone says, you know, it's adventure, but in 2025, and I'm like, where? How does this connect? Maybe it's later, and I'm gonna keep playing the demo. Of course, I won't see more, but I ran out of patience for what I was hoping for. Maybe that's my fault, but here's the thing. If Atari had a great idea for a successor to Adventure, well, they wouldn't spend all that pent-up anticipation for a follow-up for a slightly reskinned old unreleased Metroidvania, would they? So maybe they don't have a great idea, and so they did this. So this is the Adventure follow-up we're gonna get. Here's the other problem. If there is a great idea for a successor to Adventure, and I've grown to have faith in the folks at Atari over the last few years, well, what are the odds of putting out two titles in rapid succession, one being this, and another being some other great idea that might be better than this, both attached to Adventure? I mean, we... How many times, look, we saw Centipede Recharge. Where's the next Centipede? Well, they've used that, right? We did Lunar Lander Beyond. Well, there's not like two more Lunar Lander games coming. Once they spend it, like that currency is spent for a while. So they're putting Adventure on this. If it doesn't get more adventure-y fast, I feel like they've spent all of that pent-up energy. Okay. I'm speechless. Now, I know many people had similar things to say about Yars Rising last year, which also was based on a classic game. It was also a Metroidvania, different art style, but like when you play Yars Rising, like boom, the Yars iconography is there. They quickly connect it to the world. You understand this is another part of the world, but it's its own game, right? This adventure now, Tales, Adventure, whatever it is now, of Samsara, in what I've seen, in what I've played, in what I've read, this is the spiritual successor to Adventure that seemingly has no connective tissue to Adventure unless, other than name only, or it's something that's going to come much, much, much later, in which case, where's my investment? I don't know. I have more to say, but what do you think? What you've seen this, and I don't want to dog on this game. I want to play it. I want to see where they go. I want to be impressed, but I'm very concerned, and I've got to get my concern out now, while maybe someone who cares enough about our beloved franchises will go, oh, that's right, we've got to be careful. Maybe we'll do something a little bit different, or maybe we'll tweak it a little more, or or rethink. If this isn't it, don't waste all that adventure currency on this. Give us this, but don't call it adventure anything. Just say it's a Metroidvania. We'll play that. But there's more opportunity for damage here than I think there is upside if what I played is the game we're gonna get to have adventure attached to it. So, okay. I'm sure I'll be covering this game more. When I do, I'll put links to those videos here and here. Meanwhile, some other news items that I've covered, or maybe some Yars Rising stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. For now, I'm gonna go calm down, play the rest of this demo. If something revelatory happens in the rest of this demo, I'll put a pinned comment down under this video. So thanks for checking this out. I hope you found something to enjoy. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.